Let's do it one more time, just so we can, pretend like we have our shit together.
Girl, I'm sweating.
I want to see the room when you were done here.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Erika.
And I'm Sarah. We are the Living Understaffed podcast, the chaos we can't clock out of. Today's guest is about to hold up a mirror in the most loving but slightly uncomfortable way possible. Lilli Bewley is a dating coach with over a decade of experience helping women move from just surviving in life to actually thriving in love and purpose.
She's the creator of feminine dating archetypes, basically attachment styles, but better and more accurate. She helps women break patterns, heal emotional blocks, and actually enjoy dating again, which feels bold, but we're here for it.
And before we spiral, shout out to the only things keeping us semi-functional while managing 17 jobs and these dump trucks of a personality. From Moments to Forever for your photo booth and guestbook services here in Lubbock, digital legacy storage so your memories don't disappear into the void. And then there's Primal Queen for us women keeping our hormones in check. And, there are days. An everyday dose mushroom coffee for focus without the anxiety. You can find everything in our link tree because while we are tired, we are resourceful.
Lilli, welcome to Living Understaffed. We're ready to be exposed. Yuck.
Any questions for us before we officially start?
I want to know what you guys got for your archetype. I heard one goddess. Who got the goddess?
I
both
did.
You guys did it. Okay, you got the goddess.
I got... Hold on.
So Sarah got goddess.
I got the chill woman.
Chill. Okay.
Which
right. Now I know everything about you. We don't even...
I was going to say, I felt extremely called out when I read it. I was like...
Yeah, I know. Sorry. It hurts. It hurts.
Ouch. We have so many questions. So many. Yeah. When I was messaging Kayla earlier that I was like, we're going to have hurt feelings on this episode.
Mm-hmm. We might even need to do an episode, one for goddess and one for chill, because it's different, obviously.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know. But anyway, we can do whatever, whatever. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you, help you and help your audience. It's yeah. So you just let me know how I can help.
Okay.
But so one goddess and one chill. I know everything about you now.
Oh God.
And I wouldn't call myself a matchmaker. We can talk more about this, but yes, but keep going.
Well, I'm excited about this because we have done some, obviously we've had relationship stuff on the pod. We both have been single for a little while for both of us, and dating, and men are trash. And I am unfortunately attracted to men and I hate that. But I, a couple months ago, put in with a photographer some a questionnaire for getting set up on one of those stranger photo sessions. And today we were supposed to schedule, we were supposed to meet up to do that photography session today. This person lives an hour and a half away. They were going to drive in. We were going to meet up at the Windmill Museum. There was a whole thing. Our photographer got sick. So then it was so then she was trying to get us to meet up for lunch today. She there's all these things. So I'm actually going to go have dinner with him after we record tonight. And I'm not at all anxious about it. Just all of the anxiety is living within my body. So it's fine. It's totally fine.
Everything's going to be fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
So Lilli, we are, obviously we talk about being understaffed and overwhelmed. A lot of the times we ask our guests to talk about how has the last week been for you? Have you felt understaffed or overwhelmed?
Ooh. Well, I'm just like every other human in the world, going through the human things. So I think overwhelm is actually pretty normal. Given
in this society.
Yeah. Given the state of the world and everything really. I don't know where you ladies sit. I have, like I said, I think I know some things about you, but if you're at all like me, you've been through some stuff in your life. And so people like us that have been through some stuff, and even normal, quote unquote, normal people, have the normal ups and downs. So of course, of course I've been through the ups and the downs and all those things, nothing too crazy. Understaffed. Rarely do I feel that anymore.
I'm so jealous.
Wow.
Thank you. It has been it's been a journey. When I think of understaffed, and I'll dig right into it, is I think of this idea of hyper independence and hyper independence being a trauma response. If the hyper independence is a trauma response, then that means that we have to do everything on. I know. We have to do. I know. My kids
We're
is
both
watching the
like,
video. They're like cringing, and they're about
"Ew."
to. Yeah.
Called out.
So, yeah, if you're not watching the video, their faces are cringing and they're about to hit stop record. So,
I'm pointing at Erika like,
yeah.
"Eat."
So, I mean, thankfully, with the healing work that I've done inside of myself, I rarely feel that I have to manage the world and everything in the world and myself and all those things. So this week, again, I go through the ups and the downs, but I feel very supported. I feel supported by God. I feel supported by universe. I feel supported by my love. I feel supported
Mhm.
by my work. I feel supported by the deep conversations, that I get to be invited to. I feel supported by, my purpose and the clients I get to help through this process and, all the things. So there's a long answer to your short question.
Well,
We, always do a long answer, even if it's not on purpose. We like to say long story long.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
Long story long.
correct. And for those of you listening, she's offering the feminine dating archetypes. It's unique, it's divinely inspired. It's a framework that's attachment styles on steroids. According to AI that like wrote up, I was like, "Here, use this, help me figure out how to introduce this person." So, with like
Nice. AI knows.
I it's nice, but it's like I will put the website in the show notes for those of you guys that are interested in it. Erica and I did the quiz the other day and I came up as the goddess. And Erica, which one did you get?
The chill woman, which is kinda wild because I'm not chill at all.
No, I would not. She sent me the screenshots and I was like, "Who is this? Who?" Uh but Lilli, so tell us what are archetypes? Like what does that mean?
Mm. So let me tell you where they came from. So, so I'm here talking to you today, myself, like as a human, a woman who has gone through a lot of pain in her life, has come from a place of hurt and trauma, and grown up in a household where I didn't have a great model for relationships. I didn't have a great model for love. I didn't have, really any examples of what like a true love or a connected love or healthy love is really all about. And so, um, what that really manifested for me for a very long time was this pattern that I started to see in relationships, not just dating and relationships, but like relationship with friends, relationships with family, relationships with money, relationship with job, relationships with purpose, all the things where I never felt really fulfilled. I never felt seen. I never felt heard. I felt like I was really good and smart at communicating, but I still never felt like met, like where I wanted, like
Yeah.
that deep part of me really wanted to be met. And so dating and love has always been my biggest edge, always. Like, I'm really good at getting that money. I'm really good at getting that body. I'm really good at like getting that car or that house or whatever it is that I can strive to get. But if you are like me and you've been through some stuff and you're really good at a lot of other things in your life, but the love thing is a thing that has like a gaping hole in it, which was me, it was all based on these patterns that I had inside myself, whether that be like the other person was ghosting me very, often, a lot through dating. I would sacrifice my body way quicker than I should in the dating process. Should, as in like I would tell myself I wouldn't do it, and then I would do it anyways. Um, just patterns, basically, of again not being seen and not being heard or
Mhm.
understood and loved. And so over time, obviously that caused a lot of frustration and a lot of confusion because I'm a really smart woman. Erica, you're a smart woman. Sarah, you're a smart woman. Every woman listening here is a smart woman. what happens with love those is that it makes it hard is that everything else that we've done to achieve in our lives does not work with love, especially if you're looking for a healthy love, a joyful love, a spiritual love, a conscious love, and epic love. And so I kept hitting these walls. I kept hitting these patterns. And eventually I got to the place of, I'm so tired of being sick and tired. And then I did everything to heal from the inside out. What you'll notice about me, ladies, if you haven't noticed already, and with the quiz, is that I'm I'm a different type of dating coach because I'm different than your friends. I'm different than your family because everyone else is going to tell you that you're doing things wrong or that your profile is wrong or just fix this on your profile or put this picture on your profile or 5 questions to ask on your first date or blah 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 blah. Don't sleep with them within 24 hours or whatever these things are is very outside of us. And what I learned through my journey is really as within, so without. Basic law of manifestation is whatever is happening on the outside of you is a direct reflection on what's happening on the inside of you. And so I eventually got to that point where I'm like, what is it about me that needs to change? And I did all the work that was absolutely available to me from the inside. And so hours and hours, minutes and minutes, weeks and weeks, months and months, years and years, I started to do the unraveling of why these patterns were happening on the outside and on the inside of me. And so the feminine dating archetypes is a journey. It's about the journey that women go through that have been through some stuff like all of us here in the room that moves from stage to stage to stage. So it's an archetype because if you don't do the work, you're going to be stuck in the goddess woman. If you don't do the work, you're going to be stuck in the chill woman. My mom might die as a chill woman. Like people will stay in these patterns until they make the changes inside of themselves. And so I went through that journey. Are you about to cry?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Are you
she's
No.
scared. She's
Oh, I
called
thought
out.
you were crying.
We're both like called out right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're feeling called out. I
Brutal.
thought you were like, okay. It's okay if you are, by the way. Crying's absolutely okay.
Oh,
Um,
I'm going to.
yeah.
Disclaimer, I'm the crier between the two of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, my bad. So it's really about the journey. The feminine dating archetypes is I went from the chill woman to the fortress woman to the
Okay.
goddess woman. And the magnetic woman is where I aspire to be and my clients take on that aspiration and that goal. And the magnetic woman is basically when people say, oh, just go be yourself or just go be authentic. If we've had stuff happen to us in the past, that is almost impossible to do. And so
Yeah.
it is the journey of rewiring, unlayering, relearning who you are, becoming a version of yourself that that's in there, but
Yeah.
cannot seem to get to it in real life. So it's really about a staged journey, step by step by step on getting to the magnetic woman. That's where it came from.
And it's brutal too because like some of the things that came up with reading about archetypes and kind of like the different articles that you can find online, the different googling that you can do of like I just as a strong person, as an independent person, like as someone who is out there doing the damn thing, I feel like I have done quite a bit of work and I understand some of my patterns and I kind of like I can see some of that stuff coming from a mile away. But then my problem is that I always feel like I'm the one that's either more self-aware or more mature or more emotionally available and more ready and I can like tell when the other person's not, or I attract the person. Example being, I don't like however much people have been listening to the show is like a few episodes ago, I completely outed married man number 5. Number 5. Like
Wow.
it has been brutal. So like how for me that magnetism of like I obviously don't want to magnetize anyone to me that is married. That's not my style. It's not my scene. But like also knowing that when I'm going through and trying to like figure out if this person is emotionally available or if they are available on a mature level or whatever, I find out those things like very quickly. And then it's like, well, there's another one bites the dust. Like, see you
Mhm.
later.
Mhm.
So It's brutal to listen to some of this.
Well, we can go even more brutal. I just want to make sure your nervous system is okay because you're about to go on a date. I have so many
I
questions. I
Oh my
have so
god.
many questions.
No, I am down to answer questions. Erica and I were talking about that before you got on the call, that I was like, "I fear for this man because I'm gonna do this episode and then I'm gonna show up to dinner and be like, 'Go fuck yourself,' actually." Like,
Maybe
just
not.
super defensive. I mean, not really. I'm not that kind of person, but, like, I yes, this whole day has just been, like, an emotional roller coaster, and then we're gonna do this episode, and then I'm gonna go on a blind date. Ugh, like,
Yeah.
it's fine, and she told me his name, like, 10 minutes before we got online because I was like, "I'm supposed to show up to this restaurant. Is there a reservation? Like, who am I looking for?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, you probably need that." Um, yeah, I do. So, it's fine.
Well, you tell me. Like, do you want me to go forward with my questions? Because here's where I'm at. Everything that
'Kay.
you're describing, Sarah, is goddess woman, like typical goddess woman, right? The goddess woman has done a lot of work on herself, is very self-aware. She doesn't understand. I don't know if this is you, but she does not understand what the heck is happening. You probably have done a lot of you probably have
Yep.
done a lot of work on yourself. You probably have a list of characteristics that you want in your dream partner. You might have written a letter to your dream partner. You might have a love altar. Something something about there's the good here, I'll tell you the good news about the goddess woman. The
Okay,
good
please.
news about the goddess woman is that you are so close. You are very, very close
Good to know.
to hitting the magnetic woman, if that's what your aspiration is. And magnetic woman is like, she's the woman that she knows who she is and what she wants. Here's what's, when you've reached the goddess woman status, when, for the most part, this isn't 100%, right? Like, I'm not magnetic woman all of the time. Like that, my things still happen. I'm human. Like, I have my patterns come up. The
Yes.
difference is the way that I react to them inside and outside of myself, and also the way that I come back to home, like alignment, like self-alignment
Mhm.
sooner. So, like, if I
Okay.
was maybe chill woman, maybe like Erica, it would take a long time to get back to home, to like balance and alignment. Goddess
Right.
woman, so close. So that's the good news.
'Kay.
The hard part about the goddess woman is that you are so strong and you are so independent and you're so smart that it gets in your way. And
We have talked about this, like, round and round just between me and Erica of, like, people can't I won't let down that boundary because I've been let down so many times, and it's like but also I have to be able to let that boundary down to let someone in, like, even if it's just beginning stages. My main question specifically about this is, like, if I am which it's so hard to explain. So, I had pretty much given up dating in February. I'm not on any apps. I don't like I'm over it, and I travel full time for work, so I also really don't have, like, a lot of time to invest in that kind of, like, journey. Um, but I signed up with this girl, I don't even remember when, but she contacted me this week and said, "Hey, we can do this photo shoot." And I'm like, "Okay, alright, like, fine." And also, when I initially signed up for this, I was like, "This would be a really good pod episode. Like, this could be, fun to talk about and, like, kinda see how things go, and, like, maybe I'll make a good friendship out of this person." Fine. So, in a sense of, like, if I were to start dating and really get out there, how do I not basically interrogate that person? Because I I find myself in, like, this and it's probably a pattern, but I find myself in this where I am sick of, like, wasting my time on trash men, and there are, like, specific things that if I notice, like, their behaviors or their patterns or something that they say that I, like, kinda dig a little bit farther and then become an investigative individual myself, and I immediately am like, "Well, they're not gonna work." So we either finish dinner or finish coffee, and I'm like, "Bye." It's never gonna happen.
Mhm.
How do I enjoy dating again.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
So those are some pretty common and hard questions. Okay. So I'm going to caveat this by saying that I do not deal in tips and tricks and strategies and hacks, and I'm sorry about that
nope,
because
that's okay.
Oh.
this is not the work that I can stand behind. What I can stand behind is the question of how do I not interrogate them? The hard-ish answer is that you heal, Sarah. You heal
Yep.
inside of you the parts of you that believe that control is safe, perfectionism is safe, and that vulnerability is unsafe. That's the work.
Because it is unsafe.
So
I
it's
know.
not
I was listening to you say that, and I was like, "Oh."
yes. Parts of you believe that, which makes a lot of sense
A lot
given
of me believes that.
okay, lots of parts of us can feel like ourselves until we start to do the healing work. So, part of the healing work is about actually understanding the part of you that holds perfectionism, the part of you that holds control, which seem like they are you. Like it seems very embodied right now. But what it is really is it just those control and perfectionist parts have actually gotten you to where you are today. And that's why it's hard. And that's why, like, especially for the goddess woman, or actually for the chill woman too, is that you're smart. You know, you're both smart. Everyone's listening. All these women that are listening are smart and they're aware and they're like very self aware. The hard thing about these patterns is that they're subconscious and unconscious. So if we could have healed them already by ourselves, or even with therapy, sometimes even like goddess women and chill women that have been through therapy doesn't work with them because they're so smart. Like they find it very hard for yeah, seen, right? Like they find it
Yeah.
yeah. So
I was
you
just
start becoming the therapist to them.
hmm.
Yeah, right. So I like yes, I get it. That this is just like this is my gift, right? Is I can meet people at a depth and level that they need to be met, hold them at the depth and level that they need to be met so that they can heal those things that they would have healed already if they could have by themselves. So that's the hard part. And that is that's the answer that's not the answer to your question. Because there is no way consciously for you to stop interrogating them because if you can find everything that is wrong with that interrogation, you do not get attached. If you don't get attached, you do not get hurt.
Yep. Hands down. Across
Yeah.
the board. Because that's another question that I had was the oh, Sarah. The oh, me doing that is creating like this self-sabotage behavior and then being like, "Oh, I'm attracting all of these trash men. Super. Like I have to figure that out." So like how does like and I know you're not like you're not dealing in the tips and tricks. I understand what you're saying, but like the healing portion part of that obviously is not an easy process for a lot of people. And like Erika and myself, yourself included, a lot of our listeners, like oh my God, I can give you probably 4 different people that are going to immediately text me after this episode and tell me that I'm being rude to them because this is going to pull them out too. Like the the process for so many of us is because we come from that level of PTSD or that level of hurt or that level of childhood trauma or adulthood trauma
Mhm.
where we've had shitty relationships or going through both like Erica's divorce is going to finalize soon. Mine was divorced or mine was finalized a few years ago and it like there's so many things that I can look back and see that were so horrible and so toxic with my ex that I'm like, why am I like this? Why did I stay in that? And knowing that I have learned like lessons from going through that process and learned lessons from the dating world of 2023 through now has been eye-opening, hurt feelings alert, but also like, you know, I wish that I was attracted to women. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I am unfortunately attracted to men. It's disgusting.
Well, hold on,
I
hold on. So, a pattern is a pattern is a pattern is a pattern, and I say this, that okay, so I say this because I have so many things to say, but the the idea that if you I know you're probably joking, but I've thought that to myself. Is I wish I was just attracted to women. It'd be a lot easier. They would know me. They'd be able to connect with me. They'd be emotionally available for me. All those things. Not true. A pattern will follow you, just like the pattern followed me from California to New York. Every time I moved 5 times in my life across the country to run away from my patterns, same thing. Your pattern will follow you. I've seen it. I've had clients that have gone that route, and what they discovered is that it wasn't really that. It was the patterns that they needed to heal. That was just it. Now, I have so many things that I want to say. So
Go
many
ahead.
things.
I'm here for it. I'm gonna cry.
So
It's fine.
I want your nervous system to be like safe. Do you have like an hour in between now or like after
Yes.
this call? Okay. Okay.
There's a little bit of time. Yes.
Okay.
I will
So
meditate.
so this idea of like, why am I attracting these types of people? What, if there's a certain type of person, like emotionally unavailable or quote unquote trash people or whatever, the hard question is what is it inside of me is that reflecting? For example, I'll give you an example with the goddess and the chill woman too. If you're attracting people who don't do what they say and say what they do, anybody?
Hmm?
Anybody?
What?
So,
uh I have attracted those people.
100%?
So if you are, this is hard. This is a hard and direct but loving truth is that if you are attracting, for example, men that there's a misalignment in what they say and what they do, then there is a misalignment inside of you. Somehow, some way, there is a misalignment in either like what you're saying and what you're doing or what you're doing and what you're saying. And this could be conscious, but it also could be very subconscious. Like the so many different kind of like patterns we can circle with that particular one, but anything on the outside of you that you're complaining, that you're frustrated about on in the dating world is a direct reflection of a signpost of what is happening inside of you. Get ghosted a lot, you're ghosting yourself somehow, right?
So
Leave it.
so this is like one thing that I guess I have 3 questions.
Yeah.
Uh
I'm gonna write them down.
but they're all sort of like entwined with each other. So the thing that like recently I've sort of like distilled like I don't like this situation, but like what about it do I not like? It's that like I want somebody to show up for me the way that I would show up for them. Like again, we were talking about hyper independence. Like I know factually in my brain that if I want somebody to show up for me and like be emotionally available and all of that stuff, like and like just help me with stuff like fill up my tires or like
Mhm.
literally any small take out my like anything.
Mhm.
I have to be able to like receive that, which I'm historically not very good at.
Mhm.
Um, but also like it's like I'm not even getting to that point. It's like I instinctively like either set up the situation so that they show up the way that I want them to, or it's just like they never even get to a point where they could be even close to how I want them to show up for me.
Mhm.
Um, and Like, so, like, why do I do that?
Mm.
Also, second question is, like, you were talking about, like, where like, you can think about it because, like, I do go to therapy, and I'm absolutely one of those people where I'm like, "If I solve the problem, I don't have the feelings. What do you mean I have to feel those? I can just solve the
Oh,
problem,
oh, oh, please. Yeah.
and then it's better." So I'm like, I don't like, it's very difficult for me not to think analytically about things. Um, and then so that kind of leads me to my third question, which is, like, what like, how do you, like, start that process? Like, how do I like, I don't like being vulnerable, like, with myself. Like, I start, like, "Oh, maybe we should dig into that," and I'm like, "Ugh, ugh,
Yeah.
no, thank you."
We we had
Uh,
I'm bringing this to this is a very specific point. We had this conversation about, like, Erica being on Tinder and, like, need
uh-huh.
like, the apps in general, and
Yes.
so the hard question was, Erica, we complain about the apps and the swipe culture and, like, how quick everything is and how trash people turn out to be and just, like, how those connections are, but really, we already know what the habit is getting back on an app, and we already know what we're jumping back into, but we still choose to
To
do it.
do it.
That's our problem. Like, that's a me problem
Yes.
because I've
Mhm.
chosen to jump back into that pool, and so we
Yes.
we just talked about that, like, a week ago.
Yes.
Mm.
So that's yes. So we're both off the apps now.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Truly,
no more.
the last one was because a guy sent me, like, a whole diatribe because I told him it was a little bit presumptuous for him to ask me very personal sexual questions within, like, 10 messages.
Like an hour.
Yeah, I was like, I appreciate the
No.
communication, but that's presumptuous." And then he was like, "You don't have to be hostile." And I was like,
Alright.
"Thanks for that." I um,
Uh,
but, like, I guess for me, I'm asking for a specific answer, and I know that you're not gonna give me one. Um, what are, like, good questions to, like, ask yourself to, like, because there's also a lot of things that, like, somebody will ask me what I want, and I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know what I want." I've just there are so many things that I just have not thought about it.
yeah.
So, like, what are questions to ask yourself to, like, figure out what you want? Like, actually want? Um, and how do you how do you get through that, like, barrier of actually starting like, to resolve those patterns?
Okay.
I can see them. I know that
Mhm.
they're happening. I can see them happening while I'm actively engaging in
Same.
said
Same.
pattern, and I just
And still do it. And I'm still
and
like,
still do it.
"It's
Yeah.
fine."
Yeah. Okay. So I wrote
That was
so
a
I wrote
lot, I'm sorry.
so well, is it okay if I repeat back kind of the
Mhm.
points, and there are like 6 of them, and you tell me where you wanna go? So, there's this idea of showing up, like, there's the mismatch. Uh,
Mhm.
this idea of receiving, this idea of feeling the feelings, this idea of being too analytical, idea of how do you start the process. I heard what you didn't say is how do we make the apps better? And then questions to ask yourself. Which one of all those do you want to start with?
How do you start the healing journey? I know that's gonna be the most painful one for me, but that's probably gonna be the one that's where I should start, so.
Okay. So, how do you start the healing journey? Um, you start. I mean, so,
I know,
uh,
but it's like
so here.
speaking of, hyperindependence, I have a new coworker, and she's like, "What can I take off your plate?" And I'm like,
What?
"What?" She's like, "Well, you have all of these things to do, and I just got here and I have nothing to do. So I need you to give me things from your plate so that I can do them." And I like still in my brain, I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
where to start. I don't know how to hand things off to be like, so when you're like, just start, like, that's where my brain goes. I'm like, but
Okay.
what does that mean?
Okay. I'm hosting a masterclass, and this is not a sell by any means, but what I'm
We're
saying.
here for shameless plugs. So even if you were,
No,
that's fine.
even it's not shameless. I'm fucking proud of what I do, so it's not.
Yes.
But okay, healing journeys start. They always say that one day, you're just gonna wake up and you want something different. That's it. Whether you hit the ground floor and you hit, knees to floor and you're asking God why, or you hit your rock bottom or whatever, it starts with a desire to want something better and really to take action towards that. Now, what that particular action is, I can't tell you that. Like that's to me like the God thing, that's a universe thing. Like I can't tell you that. I can tell you I and my community and what we do over on my side of things is I got some options for you, right? And what I also see is the procrastination is actually a protective response because there is an idea that stepping into something like a healing journey is going to be painful. It's going to hurt. We're going to have to talk about all the shitty things that have happened to you in your past. And we're going to have to kind of like re-dig into that wound. And that's not the way that we do that. And I know a lot of other really great coaches that don't do that, but we do not do that over on my side of things. What we do is we take you on a journey from where you are now. We start to learn about the different kind of aspects and facets of these different types of patterns of like today. And we start to have a new relationship with your perfectionism, with your control, with your anxiety, with your overwhelm, with the part of you that does one thing and the other part of you that does another. So it's really, really about like when I say healing to me, it's really about coming home to who you are as a woman, like becoming the version of yourself literally that I think God and the universe calls us to be. And again, how do you start? You literally just start at whatever small step that you can. And I know that's hard for most people, but just realize if it is hard, there's a part of you protecting you because you think it's going to be a certain way. And most of my clients, again, will get to this point where it's just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this pattern. I am done with being sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm done. I'm ready. And there's a very like, I host like literally I host master classes almost every week. So there's one coming up on Thursday next week. And it's about taking that first easier step and then seeing, I don't know, seeing what happens. And are you available? Are you open? And are you willing for something different? And that would be all of my ask would be. What's funny about that is that is what you're probably looking for in a partner. You're probably looking for someone open, someone willing, someone available. And that pattern will hold you again until you break it.
I hate this.
I was like, I feel so called out right now.
I feel like in my head, I'm like, wow, she's
Well,
talking
I mean,
directly to
I love you. I
Erika.
just want to tell
Not
you I
even
love you. I love you. I hope to be the intersection of love and truth, right? And so
Oh,
it's a good thing that you're getting called out because it's time,
Yeah.
like whether it's with us over here or whether it's somebody else, your therapist or any other kind of tools that
Mhm,
are out there, like the world, when you change, this podcast changes. The
mhm,
world changes. Your kids change if you have them. Your coworkers change because of you. You become an example. You become a ripple effect for all that is good and loving and it's like the balm that the world needs because of the work that you do on yourself. Like cuz I've done it. And
mhm,
a bunch of other women in my communities have too.
so if okay, and I know this is gonna be a different journey for every single person, but, like, on a general basis, if there is emotional safety in an early dating situation. What the hell does that look like? Like, I know that, like, I know I deal with a lot of anxiety, and I know I am unmedicated, and I know that I
Good for you.
deal with, like, my own issues, and I try to, like, keep those things away from other people because it's like I'm dealing with all of those things in my head, and I don't always need to just put that on someone else, and that's 'cause I've dealt with that for a long time, and so there's pieces of me that, like, in an early dating situation, I know that I have a lot of anxiety on things, and it's not like I I wouldn't consider myself like an overly jealous person. I wouldn't necessarily consider myself like I have to have a text message every 10 minutes or you're out there doing whatever you're doing. Like it's
Mhm.
not necessarily like that, but like how do I feel or how can I understand what emotional safety looks like in an early dating scenario?
It's a beautiful question. It's a beautiful question. So let me start by saying, you mentioned, Erica, like, I don't even know what my needs are. Okay. Let me, so actually, let me start with a story. So I've been you, Erica, at Chill Woman. I've been you, Sarah, at Goddess Woman. And I've been through the ups and the downs, the journey, I would call it the delete and download cycle in the apps, right? We like download and then we're
Yes.
hanging, right? And we just keep doing it. It's a constant thing. Been through that.
Yeah.
The man of my dreams that I am with right now, the best man that I have ever known, the man that made every man before him like just crumble to dust. Like he is the man that every man before him never was. My dad, my brother, every man in my dating relationships. The way that I knew that I was safe with him from the very beginning. Like I'm on my purpose. I'm on my purpose journey. You're experiencing that from me right now. I love podcasting, and I've created a life where I get to come on and podcast and talk about deep things. I'm a deep person. I want to be met deeply. He meets me deeply. People had told me when I was dating, "Oh, don't go so deep on the first date. You're going to scare them away." I don't know if you've heard that, if you told
I
yourself that.
disagree with that. I haven't necessarily been told that directly, but like just, social media things or like things that you see in magazines and stuff. I disagree wholeheartedly.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So what I'm trying to say is that because I was at this place, the magnetic woman place, where I knew what I needed. I knew how to speak up for my needs, and I knew how to like, people say just go be authentic, but we don't know who we are. Like, we don't know what our needs are. Or like we speak up for our needs, but we still don't feel seen and heard. We think we're doing it. We're really good at communicating and doing it the right way, but it never really feels like somebody gets us. And I'd done all that work. And immediately, like day one, he and I were hanging out. The next morning, I had a podcast recording, and podcast recordings are very, very important to me. And so I had a time that I wanted to go to bed. I wanted to go to bed at 9. And I asked him, "Hey, can you help me with something? I have this thing going on tomorrow. It's really important to me, and I need to be in bed at 9. Can you help me get to bed at 9 because this is important to me?" Instead of like every other man before him, wanted to like get me drunk, get me high, try to convince me to hang out, or and me saying yes, or me just kind of self-sacrificing or self-sabotaging that whole thing. But again, knowing or not knowing, you know what he did? He tucked me in at 9. And I knew, like that day, I knew that he was special. And he is, and he was, and he continues to be. So how like how do you know if it's emotionally safe? I always tell my clients as soon as possible, early and often, speak up for your needs. Not just your wants and your desires, but your needs. Now, there is a needs hierarchy when it comes to the feminine dating archetypes. For
Okay.
example, the chill woman has no needs. Sorry. She sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. She does what you said, Erika, is true. And I love you. I love you. You don't know you don't know what your needs are.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it.
And you recognize that. Yes. The goddess woman in the needs hierarchy, she thinks she knows what she needs, but there is one level that she is missing and that's available to her, and that's being explicit about what her needs are. So the goddess woman is very good at talking about her feelings and what's happening inside of her and giving feedback, but she's not good right now. There is growth, but she's not good at speaking up explicitly for her needs and her wants and desires. And that is the needs hierarchy. So what's happening?
Oh, I hate this so much.
Is your body just on fire right now?
Yes.
What's happening inside your body right now?
I'm a little distracted because my light is in the process of shitting the bed right now, and I'm sorry about it.
They say don't dim your light, and there you go, your light dim.
Her light just keeps shutting off, and she looks at it, and she's like, "Damn it!" Oh,
Did you know that this was going to be kind of like a call out? It's not a therapy session because I'm not a therapist, but like
We knew our feelings were gonna be hurt, but I mean,
this is brutal.
this is yes,
sorry.
it's brutal, but like in a really good way because there are so many it is very difficult. It's very difficult to okay, what do I do? And then people are like, ask yourself these 10 questions after every date. And I'm like, but the problem is getting the dates with the people. I have
That
worked
are
really
worthy of
hard.
our time.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
wouldn't it be nice to trust yourself to pick the right people for once?
Yeah, it would be
That's-
super.
That's the work.
That's another
Yeah.
question that I had
Come on
too
over.
is how do we shift what we attract without lowering our standards? Because I struggle with wrapping my head around the person that I'm attracting is what's going on inside of me.
I know.
Because it's I want higher standards in this person. And so in my head, I'm like, how is it that I attract this person who is so much lower than my standards? And then to piggyback on that is how do I and I know there's not a clear cut answer for this, but how does anyone in the dating world how do I explain this? Example. With my ex-husband, there were things that I knew that I was compromising on that I absolutely will not compromise now.
Mhm.
And I think that that's every relationship, and those things evolve, and those things you might compromise on it now and it might develop into something later, or it might not ever. If it is a standard thing that I have set, I know that it's very possible that my standards might be too high and that someone might not ever meet those standards. But how do I stop myself from compromising every single standard just so I can kind of get that little ounce of dopamine to fill a need? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, again, the how-to questions are hard.
Yes.
I know.
But I think that it's not just the two of us. A lot of our listeners
I get it.
too, a lot of people in the dating world, this is a tough question to ask anyone, and it's no, you have to be strong with the standards that you want, and you have to stick to your guns, and you have to communicate explicitly your needs. Thank you so much for that. I will cry about that later. But I it is so difficult, and especially for me specifically, back in February, I'm I am done dating. And then I met someone and I was like, wow, this could potentially maybe be something. And then found out that he was married. And then that blew up. And I was like, you know what? No, I am done. And then in my head, I'm like, no one's going to hurt me if they can't get to level 10, right? Like if they get to level 1, meh, okay, fine, whatever. I might, give them the time of day. But if they make it to level 10, then I'll maybe think about dating again.
Mhm.
And I know that that's also not healthy because I'm like, I'm just going to set impossible boundaries and be alone forever. It's fine.
Mm. Mm. Okay. So,
Woo!
so, um, there's a lot that you said, Sarah, and there's a lot of different aspects and facets of yourself that you're talking about. Like, there's one part of you that's like the one part that does like the dopamine and the attachment, but then there's one that's questioning: are my standards are they too high? And then there's one of like, I'm afraid I'm going to compromise. And then there's lots of these different kind of like things happening, in your head. And I'm going to say it again and you're going to hate it, but that's the healing work. Okay. So the work is less about, again, like less about a formula and more about, wouldn't it be nice to meet someone and you not being in your head, but you're in your body and you can make decisions from here, not your heart, because sometimes your heart can be like a wounded part. Sometimes if you are seeing patterns in your relationships or anything that you're noticing, it's likely that a wounded part or parts are leading your dating process, not your highest self, not your most aligned self, even though
Woo!
you think that it is, it's probably not, right? And so the work is not about pushing down or pushing away or pushing aside those parts of you that you quote unquote don't like. So I want to say that because that's what everyone else, even therapists and maybe some other coaches, are going to tell you that's what you need to do. And that's what we're taught to do. Let's just breath work it away. Let's meditate it away. Let's read it away. Let's label it away. I'm codependent. I'm anxious attachment and all that stuff. But it does not work in the long run. What works in the long run is literally the transformation of the person that you become inside of yourself. And so what you're asking me is like, how do I trust myself? How do I know? How do I have all of these kind of voices happening in my head? And then how do I make decisions from an aligned place? We just don't know that yet. But that's what happens in the healing journey. I
And
know.
from a semi-sarcastic standpoint, like, is there a point that I'm going to, like, overheal to the point that I just block connection, where I'm just like, "I'm good. I'm all I need. I'm cool."
No, because
'Cause
that's a protective part.
I don't
The
like that answer
spiritual
either.
I know. You don't have to air this if you don't want to. Maybe I'm just here for
Oh,
you
no.
too.
I love this. This is the best thing about this show is that, like, after the fact, whatever episode it is, we usually get 2 to 3 messages, like, right away from either from our friends or from random people that are like, "I needed this episode for so many reasons." And they'll either tell us or they won't, or they'll
Awesome.
just say, like, "Really grateful that you guys said out loud what you did because we just needed to hear it."
Aw, that's
Mhm.
awesome. That's good.
It is really awesome. So, yes, we have a small following. We are not a large podcast at all whatsoever, but, like, that's literally why we're still doing what we're doing, because just those few messages is enough for us both. And we're also like, this is a way for Erika and I to get together every week, and
Yep.
we chat and, like, talk to
I
really
love
cool
it.
people, so I'm not upset. But it just yes, this is, like, that hurt feelings alert, but it is things that, like, Erika and I both regularly hurt each other's feelings in that, like, coming from that, like, loving best friend place where it's like, I'm sure you don't wanna hear this, but also
Mhm.
X, Y, and Z, like
Yes.
these are things that we do need to work on. And we do call each other out pretty regularly, but, like, when it's somebody else doing it, I'm like, "Oh god. Oh god."
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, it's confronting.
It
It's
is.
confronting. It is very confronting, which makes it, part of the, when we go through enrollments over here, and we talk about ascension. So ascension is
Mhm.
about moving from the chill woman to the goddess woman to the magnetic woman. That's typically the path. The ascension is from goddess woman to the magnetic woman. So when you had to go away, Erica, what I was telling Sarah is that, like, she's a goddess woman. She's so, so close. And chill woman has like 2 levels, right? So I mean, like, it's there. It's all available, but it is very confronting because it does change. It's like an invitation to change at a level that parts of you are scared of. It's like, you know
Mhm.
how like you were saying, my therapist basically, you didn't say this, but what I heard was my therapist is telling me just feel the feelings, right?
Mhm.
And so the
Yeah,
thing
Erica.
about the thing about that, you're not wrong, actually. You're very smart for not being able to feel the feelings because the healing work from where I sit is actually people tell us, "Oh, go shine your light. Don't dim your light, girl," all this stuff.
Mhm.
If your feelings were safe inside of your body, if your enoughness was safe inside of your body, if your feelings of like really, really being who you are without a mask, without your protective patterns, without your wounded parts leading different aspects of your life, there are parts of you that believe that your light is unsafe. Like a lot of women that I work with have gone through very hard experiences where because they were so bright and shiny when they were very young or something that happened to them in their relationships, they got hurt badly. And so, actually, just saying something to your adult self today, oh, just go shine your light. You can go try. You can go paint yourself yellow on the outside, but on the inside, that little girl does not feel safe to shine her light. And that's the healing work. So, same thing with feel your feelings. I bet in your family, Erica, feelings were not safe in your household or in your
No.
relationship, right? So feelings are not safe. So if it was easy to feel your feelings, you would have already done it. But it's not. It's not safe. The parts of you are saying for good reason, not because they're
Mhm.
bad or they're wrong, but for good reason that we can't. Because if we feel our feelings, we're going to get beat. We're going to be alone. We're going to be ostracized. We're going to be bullied. We're going to be made fun of. We're going to be told explicitly and implicitly that we should shut up. Right. And so all of that is brought here today in your life to break, to heal, to break through and overcome and end.
Um, my therapist and I had almost this exact conversation on Monday. Uh, and we do a lot because I all the time I'm like, "I'm healed." And then she'll be like, uh like, not exactly this, but something will come up about, like, I will have an opportunity to be vulnerable, and the idea of being emotionally honest with another person makes me wanna throw up. I'm like, "Ooh," and then if I really, really am honest with myself, and I think about how many things I do in my life that either I don't fully show up as my authentic self because I don't wanna, like, fully commit or because I'm, like, again, like that little girl that, like, doesn't wanna be hurt or whatever, like,
Mhm,
how many things I do that show up that I'm like, I am driven and ambitious, and I'm very good at my job, and I always make sure everything gets done, and I make sure that everything is taken care of and all of that stuff, and the anxiety makes me so good at
mhm.
all of those things,
Yeah.
but it's also what makes me, like, not letting people let people in. So part of it for me, like, if I'm being really honest with myself, is like, what if I'm not as good at all of this stuff if I
Ooh.
what if my
Yeah.
whole life just falls apart?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, valid concern. Valid the part that is coming up, that is a very valid concern because everything that you know about you is actually probably oh, this is gonna hurt too, but
a trauma
probably
response?
yeah,
Yeah.
but also yeah, probably comes from your wounding. Like the high achiever, the boss, the manager of the universe, the, you know, I don't know, Instagram influencer or whatever it is. Like all of those parts were formed because something told it to form and they formed in order to survive. The hard thing again, like today, they become what's called maladaptive strategies, meaning that they were adaptive then and they got you through then, but today they don't work anymore. And you're right. That is the most confronting piece. I work with women that are strong, independent executives, high level lawyers, doctors, people like that. And I tell you, and I'm telling you now so you can prepare for either if you come on this journey, with us, or if you don't, or whenever you hit that journey. And I do hope you do, because, like I want you to die with the kind of love that I have,
Mhm.
right? There will come a time where that will be the question is who am I without this? And you don't know the answer to the question right now. And that
Woo!
is scary and it's hard, but that will come. So a part of you knows that, and that is also very confronting and very scary.
Can I also, Erica, I'm calling us both out on this right now. Can I also say, like, we've had guests on the show before, even Erica and I just recording by ourselves. I know that we are somewhat in like a defensive conversational level, not necessarily against you, but against like this particular concept, this particular conversation.
Yeah.
Because typically at this point, either Erica or myself are more and more looking at our phones because we're either about to check out or we like ADHD level, we're just like done mentally, right? And both of us not even like staring at our phones, like not so I say that also to compliment you because we are like actively engaged, like for sure engaged in the conversation, but like also I know that we are already like defensive because neither of us are like distracted by other things easily
I
right
hear
now.
you. Yeah. So you're feeling
Yeah,
called
just
out.
being like,
Oh,
"What do you
ouch.
mean it's me?"
I know it hurts to be seen. What'd you say, Erica? Sorry, I missed what you
I
said.
said, "What do you mean it's me?"
That is the hard
Oh.
question. There's a lot. There's a lot. It's a lot, and I get it. And like, again, when you're ready, when you get to the point that you're ready, you're just ready. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no
So
convincing, there's no.
first question is I absolutely want to invite you back again in the next like month or two because this conversation could definitely keep going. Um
Mhm.
but second thing is we also need to know about like what you're offering right now and like the things that are going on with your business so that we can make sure that we market that appropriately as well. So
Sure.
tell us a little more
Thank
about
you.
you.
Well, thank you. First of all, I wanna thank you for sitting in, like, that anxiety and that being seen and heard. It's funny, right? Like, we want people to see and hear us, but then when we're actually seen and heard, it feels hard.
Awful.
You can feel it in your
Yes.
nervous system. But you see, that's the freaking work. Do you see? Like, that's the work, right? Like, I wanna
Yeah.
be seen and I wanna be heard, but being seen and heard at that level is like your nervous system gets activated, right? So that's the work. To me, that's like
Yeah.
a perfect representation of like why it's important to do this. So I stand on that, right? Like, um, but thank you. Like, thank you for being open. You say you're not vulnerable, but you have been vulnerable, right? Like,
I have
and
bit stains. It's
yeah.
Yeah, I was
fine.
gonna say, I am sweating.
Yeah. So let me just say, like, what that means, your nervous system being activated in a safe place is actually a very good thing. Your nervous system being activated while being seen and heard, not because I want you to change, not because that you did anything wrong, not because anything's bad, but because literally what you're doing right now with us in this situation is you are rewiring your nervous system. Bless you, by the way. Your nervous system. Okay. So all of
Yeah.
that, what you're experiencing is completely normal. So please take care of yourself after this episode. Okay. Like literally take care of yourself. This is what I tell my clients, do your best not to scroll, like eat some healthy food, get ready, dance, do your thing, get it out of your
Uh,
body, all that stuff like
music.
that. Okay.
100% loud
Mhm.
music.
So, and my hope is that you are going to feel a sense of freedom instead of pressure after this conversation at some point. So anyways,
Okay.
that's my coachy coach coming out. So, um, I invite, any lady that is listening that is either in relationship or single to go to datingarchetype.com take the feminine dating archetype quiz like you guys did. It takes 2 minutes. It'll spit out a result. It'll reveal an archetype for you. And if you read about the archetype, it'll also tell you what your target is in healing. So if you're in therapy, if you're in, even you're on your own, there are certain, what we didn't talk about is that what's beautiful about the feminine dating archetypes, what I hated most about this journey for myself is people telling me implicitly and explicitly that I was bad and that I was wrong and that I was doing something wrong. Like people that label me as avoidant, as disorganized, as codependent. They'll tell me what's wrong with me. This is why I don't like therapy sometimes, is that they'll tell you what's wrong with you, but they won't tell you how to get out of it. They won't tell you how to change at a deep level. So what the archetype quiz will do is it'll tell you that as a chill woman, your work is to figure out and understand what your needs and wants and desires are. Like what you just said, that's your work. Your work is to heal your boundaries, understand again what your needs and wants and desires are so you can start communicating those. So at the end of the quiz, that'll tell you what we think is your next gate for healing. So you can take that wherever you want in your work, or you can come to anything that we host. We host, like I said, a masterclass almost every week. So when this comes out, if you take the quiz and you put in your email, you will be notified, and your phone number, you'll be notified of the masterclass. And if it feels like a good first step, we'd be more than welcome to welcome you there as well.
Yeah, I will say, I used, AI to kind of, like, break down my archetype, and then I used a couple of, like, articles that I found on Google to just kinda, like, give me a deep dive because 'cause I'm just unfamiliar with
Hmm.
it,
Hmm.
and, it called me the self-aware spiral queen, and it said, "You're not confused, you're overinformed and under-supported," and I was like, "Well,
Oh
fuck
my
you too." Like,
God.
I hate
So
this
sweet.
already.
So
So
sweet.
then
Wow.
the other one was, "Oh, this girl, she walks into the room with a color-coded emotional spreadsheet and still somehow ends up texting her friends, 'Why am I like this?'" And I'm like,
That's so good.
She does love spreadsheets, and she's literally texted me today, "Why am I like this?"
That's good.
mean. This is the
That's
meanest
good.
thing. So I
That's
I am very fascinated with this. Like it is super fascinating. We will absolutely put like the links and stuff and your socials in
Mhm.
the show notes. Do you have like any events or any actually I have a question.
Mhm.
Do you have any like books or reading material that you would suggest
Mm.
for people who are out there that are like trying to heal and starting a dating process or restarting the dating process, if you will?
Yeah. Well, a book I always recommend my clients is called Claim Your Power. It's by Mastin Kipp. I don't know if either of you have heard of that one before, but I always
Mm-mm,
recommend that to
no.
my clients as part of a supplement to the journey that we do together. I would say that would be
Okay.
my number one. I have a lot of different ones, but that would be a good start. And again, like the master classes that we do are free, and we dive into the feminine dating archetypes. We dive into self trust. We dive into limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are actually protective beliefs, which you talk a little bit about protective parts here. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, it's a journey. It's definitely a journey.
Oh my god. Well,
Take care of yourself, please.
yeah,
Oh,
this
I'm,
is
going to buy myself a drink after this. I'm gonna go to my favorite cocktail bar, and I'm gonna get a
Oh,
fancy beverage, and I'm
take
gonna sit by
yourself
myself and
out.
play on my phone.
Yes.
I for any of you guys that are listening, like, absolutely go check out the show notes. I will put the book in there as well, but this has been it has been a lovely conversation, don't get me wrong, but holy moly, like, you're right, like, my nervous system is like,
Yeah.
"You have work to do,
Take care of
bitch."
yourself.
Like,
Yeah. Take care of yourself. Take care of
so
yourself.
Please,
Yes.
absolutely. So, Lilli, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming on today. Like this is fantastic, and it's not enough time for us to like dig through
Yeah.
things. I would absolutely love to have you on again in the future because this is really fantastic. And then, is there anything else that you want to share?
No, I think I'm pretty complete. Thank you for the space. Thank you again for showing up, with truth and honesty, and even if it's ugly and even if it's hard. So,
Mhm.
like I said, please take care of yourself. Like, especially, if you're about to go about your nights and do your things, just like hone in a little bit and
Oh,
love
yeah,
them.
I'm gonna go on this blind date totally not hating men. Totally
Yeah.
not. I'm being sarcastic, but, like, wow. Erika, go ahead with the outro, if you will.
This is a process because I never get it right.
You
I
got
have to emotionally prepare.
this.
That's it for us, everybody. Thank you. Damn it, Sarah. Okay. I can't even look at you. That's it for us, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to like us on socials, which are listed on our link tree. And along with all the reading material and all the places you can find Lilli Bewley, remember our sponsors and
Without you, we would be putting into the
no, I was thinking because there was like affiliate. That was the word I was thinking of.
Oh,
Yes. Our sponsor forever and our affiliates Primal Queen and Everyday Dose. And we love you so much, and without you we'd be floating into the void. We're professionals, I promise.
brutal. Just brutal.